Hi there, Kat Lewis here. So it's a new year, time for a new job. So if you're looking for something that doesn't require experience and is mostly non-phone, I have 4 remote jobs for you, and you can make as much as $35 per hour. So we're going to jump right into them. The first no experience, no phone job I have comes to us from Mudflap. So Mudflap, they have an app for the trucking industry to get discounts on fuel. And right now they have an opening for a settlement operations specialist. So when you get to the job description, which I'll put a link in the description below this video, but when you get to the job description, scroll down pretty close to the bottom of the page. That's where the job lead is located. But if you want, you can feel free to read through all this other stuff. It just talks a little bit about the company and the benefits that they provide. So this is a full-time remote position, and as we scroll down a little bit more, they tell us they'll pay between $54,000 and $73,000 per year, which comes to between $25.96 and $35 per hour. So this is a no experience job. They're looking for someone who has a basic understanding of Excel and other platforms of data entry. They'd like you to have the ability to work both independently as well as part of a team. You need to be detail-oriented, you can handle multiple tasks effectively, you're familiar with fast-paced environments, you have strong written and oral communication, analytical and interpersonal skills, and you have the ability to develop and foster strong cross-functional partnerships. So as a settlement operations analyst, you'll handle incoming tickets from merchants. And whenever you see tickets, that is email, and they use Zendesk. So you'll research and investigate to ensure transactions are processed and paid accurately. You may be doing some outbound calls to merchants, but most communication is completed via email. You'll research and investigate expired and canceled codes to resolve out-of-balance conditions on accounts. You'll work in the ticketing system, which they use Zendesk, to provide answers of settlement questions to partners. You'll work with different departments to ensure information in accounts are accurate. You'll educate newly onboarded merchant partners on navigating Mudflap's merchant dashboard. You'll provide energetic, above and beyond service and complete ad hoc requests pertaining to Mudflap card transaction reviews. So this is the first no experience, very little phone job I have that pays between $54,000 and $73,000 per year. If this one interests you, check out the link in the description below this video for job number 1. Alright, so the second no experience, very little phone remote job I have is with DriveTime. So DriveTime is a platform where people can buy used cars and do auto financing. They have an opening for an accounts payable representative, and I'm going to scroll down here looking for the salary. We see they'll pay $18 per hour for this job. All you need is a high school diploma or a GED. You have a functional workspace without distractions, and they will provide you equipment with this job. They prefer you have 1 year of accounts payable experience. Now that's just preferred, it's not required. And they tell us they'd like you to have 1 year of a high volume call center experience or corporate customer service high volume or invoice or corporate data entry experience. So don't let that scare you. If you don't have any of this experience, don't worry about it too much. If you've ever paid your invoices at home, if you've ever had to deal with companies trying to resolve any invoices on your own personal behalf, think of situations like that where you've dealt with call centers, even if you've never worked in a call center before. As long as you've dealt with call centers and how you've been able to interact with people that you've dealt with, I think if you can give good examples similar to that, I think that should qualify. And you also need the ability to perform mathematical computations such as percentages, additions, and subtractions. So you need to know basic math skills for this job. So this looks like your typical entry-level kind of accounts payable position. You'll audit warranty repair invoices and process payments to vendors while working closely with multiple departments. You must be able to problem solve and multitask, and this position calls for a self-sufficient, motivated individual. So you need to be passionate and goal-oriented. You have excellent verbal and written communication skills. You need the ability to talk and write with confidence, charisma, and competence to a variety of audiences. And even though it says that you need to be able to talk confidently to people, I don't think you're going to be doing a whole lot of phone work. I think a lot of your communication can be done through email. You also need to be detail-oriented. You're okay working in a fast-paced environment. You can work well with others. You're able to meet your deadlines, and you're a good problem solver. So this is the second no experience, very little phone work job I have that pays $18 per hour. If this one interests you, check out the link below for job number 2. Job number 3 is also with DriveTime. This is for an ancillary specialist. This is a full-time remote position, and scrolling down here we see they'll pay $18.50 per hour. You need a high school diploma. They prefer you have a bachelor's or associate's degree. Now that's just preferred, it's not required. They also prefer you have knowledge of GAAP and or you have insurance claims background. And again, those two things are just preferred, not required. So in this role, you'll review and adjudicate claims for the GAP product. This includes verifying multiple documents to ensure the correct amount is applied to the loan or returned to the customer. So this sounds like a really simple, no experience needed work from home job. You need to be goal-oriented. You also need to have excellent verbal and written communication skills. And just like the other position, I think a lot of the communication can be done through email. You're comfortable working in a fast-paced environment. You're a team player. You're able to meet your deadlines, and you're a good problem solver. So this is the third position. This one pays $18.50 per hour. If you like this job, check out the link below for job number 3. The fourth and final no experience, no phone remote job I have is with Molina Healthcare, and they are a huge managed healthcare company. They have an opening for an associate specialist corporate credentialing. This is a full-time remote position, and I'm just going to scroll down here and see how much they pay. They tell us they'll pay between $13.41 and $29.06 per hour. And how much you earn depends on your location, work experience, education, and or skill level. So this is an entry-level position. So they're calling for some experience here, but I don't want you to worry too much about it. I'm going to go into that in just a minute. They tell us they'd like you to have experience in a production or administrative role requiring self-direction and critical thinking. They'd also like you to have extensive experience using a computer, specifically internet research, Microsoft Outlook and Word, and other software systems. And they'd like you to have experience with professional written and verbal communications. So don't let those things scare you from applying for this job. I'm pretty sure you already have some internet research experience. You're on the internet a lot, right? So you have no problem using a computer. And I'm sure you have experience with professional and verbal written communication. Think about any situation where you had to contact some kind of organization and send them some kind of letter, or you've made phone calls to like the health insurance, car insurance companies, whatever. In those situations, you were dealing with other professionals, so you were put on a professional level as well. And when it comes to experience in a production or administrative role requiring self-direction and critical thinking, think of situations where you had to research and analyze certain things. Maybe it was like your phone bill where you had an issue and you had to analyze it. That's just an example, but I think something like that would qualify. So then they list a preferred experience. They prefer you have experience in the healthcare industry, and that's just preferred. It's definitely not required. So in this role, you'll be responsible for the initial credentialing, recredentialing, and ongoing monitoring of sanctions and exclusions process for practitioners and health delivery organizations. You'll also be responsible for meeting daily and weekly production goals and maintaining a high level of confidentiality for provider information. You'll evaluate credentialing applications for accuracy and completeness, communicate with healthcare providers to clarify questions, and request any missing information. So you may have to pick up the phone every once in a while just to contact a healthcare provider to get any kind of information that you need. You'll update credentialing software systems with required information, so you will be doing quite a bit of data entry in this job. You'll request recredentialing applications from providers and conduct follow-up on application requests. You'll collaborate with internal and external contacts to ensure timely processing or termination of recredentialing applicants. You'll also complete data corrections in the credentialing database. You'll review claims payment systems to determine provider status as necessary, and you'll complete follow-up for provider files on watch status. You'll review and process daily alerts for federal, state, and licensed sanctions, review and process daily alerts for Medicare opt-out reports, and review and process daily NPDB continuous query reports. So again, this job just requires a high school diploma or a GED, and they'll pay anywhere from $13.41 and $29.06 per hour. So if this one interests you, check out the link below for job number 4. All right, there you go. We just went over 4 no experience needed, very little phone remote jobs. I hope at least one of these is the right one for you. So leave a comment below. Let me know which job you are going for, or if there's something else I can find for you, or if you just want to say hi. And as always, thank you so much for dropping by, and I'll meet you on the next job lead.